I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Okay, we're on a little AfterBuzz jam. Y'all, look, we here during this quarantine, y'all. Okay, so I just want to say, what's up, AfterBuzzers?
Hey, friends, and
Thank you so much thank you so much for sticking with us during this quarantine time. So I'm gonna need y'all to grab y'all quarantine snacks because we're about to get into it. We're about to cover episodes 3 and 4 of 20s. So grab your snacks. We're about to dive in. But before we do that, I'm Monty J, and I'm joined by 2 other lovely hosts.
Yes. Hey, friends. I'm your co-host, Rochelle. I'm so excited to be here in my home, healthy, corona-free. Amen.
Hey everybody, I'm Cortez. I'm excited to be here as well. A little week behind, but I'm here, and it's time to be in our 20s for these next few weeks.
Yes.
But y'all know I'm really in my 20s over here, living the good Rona-free life. But
I gotta pretend I'm not in my 20s anymore.
But you know what? That's okay. That's okay because that offers that balance. You could shed some light on some things that you know we need to get through. I just didn't expect my 20s. I didn't expect to be dealing with a quarantine. I didn't think I was going to be trapped indoors. But at the same time, I think this show is uncovering a lot of layers for this phase in life. I know that I can relate to a lot of moments. So we're going to get started with episode 3 before we dive into episode 4. So in episode 3, we have Patty. She's looking for her happy place as Ida B is going to bust her bubble. And that's something that we'll get to talk about. And Marie is being put against another Black coworker of hers. And Nia is still doubting her own place in her career field as well. So we have a lot of finding ourselves in these episodes. Mm-hmm. So I just want to ask you guys, how do you feel about Patty having her writing difficulty? Is that something that you guys could relate to? Because we've seen that she just kept trying to find this happy place. She went from the park to the coffee spot, and even to sharing on Instagram. Do y'all do that? Like you post on Instagram, talking about you getting some things done and you really didn't get nothing done.
That really
so how y'all feel about that moment?
That cracked me up because we all have been victim to it. Best believe I will be on a shoot, probably not doing nothing. Will be like, check me out. We have fell victim to it at least once. Not saying that it's a habit to do all the time, but I feel like ultimately you always have a friend like that one comment that was just like, girl, get your head in the game. Stop playing. More working, less posting. So we always have a person that's going, put us back in line.
Right. I think it's relatable because it's always hard to find a space where you can really get into like your groove. And I think that's what she was really trying to do while also searching for, to get past that writer's block and just focus because, she was newer into the role and then she was also having to get coffee and stuff like that. So just trying to find a space to where she could really write, which is what she's passionate about. And I can relate to that about anything. Like I can't even, I got to be in a certain place to cook right. If I want to cook, I can't be at somebody's house cooking. I got to be, in my space, my zen. I think that's what she was looking for, trying to get to when she was going to the park and like I said, even social media. So.
Mm-hmm. And then how do you guys think this relationship between her and the barista is going to play out? Because while she was trying to find this place to get her work done, the barista came to her and gave her a letter and, just something to help her find that, get out of that writer's block. So how do you guys think that relationship is going to unfold? Is this going to be one of her real ones or what?
I don't know. I'm a little confused because half of me is feeling like she's flirting, but then the other half, she's like relaying that like, she's like, well, I would take your spot. Like I would do anything for that job. Clearly she's a writer as well. So I don't know if she's trying to be her friend and rub elbows or if she genuinely wants to, like mess with her the long term, So I'm confused on their relationship.
I'm not confused. I think she wants a piece. I think she wants a piece. I think she is probably using that connection to maybe, see or, experience other connections. But I think that at some point and I know it's more of a prediction that she's going to really reveal what she really wants. And I guess we're gonna see what that is, but
okay, look, so it's getting juicy over there.
That's just, that's what I think. I've seen situations where people have, you can find something in common, and you kind of use one thing to get closer to another person. And I think that she's genuine, not that she's trying to get over, but I don't know. I think she want a piece. That's what I think.
Okay, you know what? I kind of agree with you because I don't know, even just giving that letter, that just seems very like real thoughtful, like I don't know who's just doing that out here. But how do y'all feel about once she gets back to Ida B's office, she shared with her that, she kind of was trying to write, but she wasn't able to, and she was trying to find her happy place. And Ida B checked her real quick, like, I don't have a happy place. It's just get it done. So she kind of gave her this happy place versus deadline. So how do y'all feel about Ida B dropping that bomb on her? Is Ida B being too tough, or is she just really letting her know what's up in this industry and what you have to pass?
I think you can't be a BSer. I mean, you can't BS a BSer. And I say that to say that when she was saying like, oh, what have you all accomplished today? And she opened that room for her to be like, hey, you can stay overnight and write with me if you want to get some extra things done, which was crazy that she passed up. Crazy, because if anybody at the studio today will be like, hey, you want to do something, stay extra 30 minutes, it's going to be like, why not? Like, that's the opportunity. But she played herself by opening her mouth too much and saying that she was going to a party, which was irrelevant. So I think that it was necessary for her to say that because it was an eye-opener for her. But I do think that she makes it sound like she's not in a happy place, which sucks. I feel like if you're doing your dream, it should be some type of happy place. Where are you getting that passion from? So I don't know. What do you think, friend?
I don't think she's too hard on her. I think in this moment, when she's a little tougher on her in terms of how I think she genuinely likes her. Obviously, she, got her the position that she's in, but I don't know. Like, I think it's realistic. Like, I mean, just look at like how people get under management and things. We don't really hear about these things all the time, but I mean, it's pretty tough to break into the business. And I think for her, she sees her as an amateur and with a lot of potential, but maybe a lot of her ways. I think she had some of the same expectations of her own, of her own life for her, and she's projecting it onto her, which is not really fair. But in the same time, in the business, it's looked at as fair. I think the show is really just showing you what it's like and what you could possibly, get into if you take that avenue. And I think Ida B is just a good example of that for now, slightly,
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then on top of that, so just thinking about that whole scene, and she didn't go to a party. She ended up going with Courtney, right? Mm-hmm. So how are y'all feeling about this relationship? Because Courtney gives me, is her name Courtney?
This is the one that
Marie?
No, not Marie.
Wait,
Hattie's little boo thing that she's just so
head over. The one that took her to
I thought it was Lorraine.
Santa Barbara.
We're gonna call her the girl.
Okay, the boo thing, right?
The distraction.
Thing.
The distraction.
Right.
That's what we're gonna call
I was
her.
literally like searching it too. But
yeah,
the distraction is a good name.
Yeah, that's deep. Okay, so the distraction. So she ends up not even getting no work done because she takes this trip to Santa Barbara. Yeah. She does reveal to the distraction, like, look, you're a distraction and it's hard for me to get my work done. And she's like, well, that's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be that one for you, giving her that.
Right.
This relationship, I know it's annoying me, but how do you guys feel about the distraction in Hattie? Like, what is this phase she's going through? What's going to be her revelation and breakthrough?
Tell me, Tyler. I mean, Tyler now. Dang, we put my friend Tyler. Where you at?
I know. Tyler would say, no, I'm kidding.
But Taz, what you
so for one, she was in the opening scene, when she came home, she was evicted. So that's one thing. Obviously, in that moment, in the first episode, in that moment, she was evicted. She knew she was getting evicted, but she's told to spend time with this girl. That's already a sign of, okay, distraction. And then to hear her say, I think you're a distraction in episode 3, I think she's just an example of in LA, I can speak, being here, I can be focused on my gym goals, but I got this one friend that want to go party. I know I don't need to go on, but they like, come on. She is that person, but in a relationship form, which is I think could be worse because you involve in feelings and love and stuff like that. So I don't know how it's going to play out with her in general. She's entertaining to watch, but like for what Hattie is trying to accomplish, I think she's going to really push her back. And like you said, when Ida B, she did take opportunity. She went to Santa Barbara. That's an example of where she is, possibly making a mistake. Not forwarding her career and choosing this fling situation because she really don't love her. She just having fun. I can say if it was love, but it's like it's fun. So,
but she did tell her that I love you. That was the ending of episode 3. Was Hattie saying I love you,
and Mamacita saying
you think that she really love her?
She said I know. Yes. So Michelle, how are you feeling?
I'm conflicted thinking of it now while he was speaking about it, because me personally, I'm 27, so I'm in my 20s, and I'm just like, personally, any guy that I'm talking to at the moment, if I know that he has a due date for something and I want him to go to Vegas with me bad, I'm going to be like, well, we're going to set at a certain time. When we reach, we're going to take care of what we need to take care of, and then we can go out and play. It's priorities, and I never want to be a distraction for anyone, because when we go into our 30s, I want us to be further than what we are today. So I'm like, a part of me is like, well, I'm in my 20s, so I wouldn't even get down like that. But then Mamacita's 25, but that's not a big difference from us. So
no,
she's
it's
playing.
right there.
You have the situation, because if I was working for Franklin Entertainment right now, please, you cannot drag me nowhere. Listen, it's certain things, and you work so hard to get there. Your friends have plugged you up there. I don't understand why you're not taking full advantage. I don't want to have regret.
You're in your early stages of working with this company, so this is the time where you really have to grind. You don't
show out.
Right. Yeah. If the opportunities the opportunity for her working with Ida so soon won't, if it comes in an early point of your career for that company, you should probably take it, because some people work hard. Like that little assistant that's working for Ida, I'm sure she would love to work with Ida, but she's pushing the door, closing the door of the place.
That big old door.
The big door.
I talk about that door every episode.
Man,
that door and those in the heels when she's pushing the door, it takes me every time.
Struggling.
But I think that this episode really deals a lot with finding your purpose, especially since we have Big Sean, who's playing this amazing character.
Tristan.
I'm loving it.
I love his character. I really do. I love Big Sean.
Yes, he does.
Big Sean, boy, how big is you?
Man, but he doesn't have a cell phone. He really seems like he's in tune with his higher self, I'm gonna say. He's really tapped in with the spirit. And he asked Nia, he says, what are you passionate about? And he says something about knowing your purpose, but refusing to walk in it. So I think it's kind of like this parallel with Nia and Hattie, knowing your purpose, but still refusing to walk in it. And sure, Nia's situation is different, but I think it still does. There's just this parallel. So how are you guys feeling about Big Sean and Nia? Like, is he going to help her reach this next level in her life? Is he revealing some things about her to herself?
I would say absolutely. I'm a big fan of Nia. Out of the friend, well, I love Hattie too, but Nia is awesome. I love her energy so far. She seemed like a really great character. And I do think that Big Sean is going to bring that out of her, because he's going to be her yin to her yang. Like, he's definitely not in the scene like that. He gets his business done. He's passionate about what he do. He stays in his own lane, and we always need somebody to refresh us like that, because it's so easy to get pulled into different things, and get distracted. So. Opposite of Mamacita, who's distracting Haiti, I feel like, Tristan, this character, he's really going to pull out. I love it. I just love his characteristics. It's awesome. I need me a Big Sean.
Manifest that, girl.
Yes.
Good at manifesting, so you better take some tips.
Yes.
What about you, Tez? How are you feeling about
I like the relationship. I think he's great. I think he's already, kind of rubbing off on her to had to challenge her to pull out, because she's now, she's trying to act now. And then even in, later, I guess we'll talk about her conversation with her childhood friend, where she talks about, working corporate versus something. Like, you can see that maybe that conversation has her thinking about, really fulfilling what she wants to do or finding her purpose, whatever that may be, going back to acting or moving forward in this case. So I like his character, and I like to look at him with his hair. I'm like, that's Big Sean. I don't know if him and Janae back together, but they ain't.
I think so.
Oh.
Look,
I mean,
that Disneyland booed up, okay? Janae said
this
she's
quarantine, she might.
Okay, so it's a lot of different things going on. So we have Nia and Hattie. They're trying to find their purpose. Hattie's trying to find her happy place. Nia's getting back into acting, discovering that this is something she's really passionate about. We even seen her kind of look back at an old headshot that she had. But let's get into Marie, because I know we say we love Nia, and Rochelle, you said you love Nia and Hattie, but Marie, she's not getting them 5 stars. Are you?
I like Marie. I like
Good.
Marie.
Yes, different perspective. We need this.
Yes.
Please tell us why.
I'm gonna say this. Her character is needed. Like, that character for every type of show is needed. And I mean, her story is a little different than other stories I've seen in her character, but it's needed. And she's very strong and career driven, but you can tell that kind of over that, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Basically, that takes precedence over a lot of her personal life issues. Of course, what she's dealing with, I don't know if you want to talk about it at this point, but her boyfriend.
I know. I keep on confused. Like, is that her husband or boyfriend?
I think they're just boyfriend. I think.
Okay.
I think
know
they're just boyfriend and girlfriend.
Figuring it out. Yeah.
Well, y'all comment below. Let us know if y'all know if they're married or if they boyfriend, girlfriend, because this is something we talked about in the last episode as well.
Yeah, checking her.
But I like her. I like her character. And I'm interested to see where this goes with this, with this career that she's trying to pursue and about this black guy. I like Marie. So I'm gonna defend Marie while y'all talk about it.
I
love it.
So with Marie, because I do feel like a lot of her critiques are needed, because sometimes you need your friends to just be honest with you. Like, look, no, that's not a good idea, or look, you're about to play yourself. Sometimes you need that, but you also need someone who understands the pace that you're moving, and nobody likes to hear somebody that's just like constantly nagging them, because you're not going to be as receptive and open to whatever they're saying, which we constantly see Hattie and Marie going at it, which, they're still friends. So Hattie must consider her a very good friend. So just even with us speaking about Marie, towards the end of that episode, we seen her boyfriend accepting a card from, I can't remember who it was.
It was just like a cocktail waiter or something like that.
Yeah. So he takes this card, and it almost looks as if they were exchanging some business or maybe flirting. Y'all, I don't know what was going on. What do you guys think about now Marie and her boyfriend and him accepting this card or whatever was going on in the mix?
Well, before I assume, because Fred over there looked like he ready to pop. But before
I'm gonna let you go ahead.
I don't have any bad comments on that. I'm just curious on why they're not having sexual relations. It seemed like it's been a while. So I want to figure out what's going on with them before I could assume anything that was going on with what he's doing. So that's all I have to say on that. But go ahead, Fran. Let me know what you think.
Well, okay, so going back to that, I'm glad you mentioned it. So that is confusing to me, because she obviously thinks that she has some type of feeling towards her boyfriend being gay. She obviously does. You can see, and she's struggling with that.
Wait, what? What you say?
Huh?
Okay, because this is what I was thinking.
Yeah. So okay. So if I don't know if it was. It hasn't been. You got to think about it. Look back to when he brought those books home, and this one was about a guy. I forgot the whole story that he said. It was so long, but it was about a guy, and she was like, okay. And then that they were trying to have sex in the
Yes, I was gonna say that.
They were trying to have sex, right? We gotta be real. We gotta be real here. They were trying to have sex, but apparently he only likes to have sex from behind.
Mm-hmm. Remember when she was like, I need the lube.
Yes. So I think that she thinks that he is gay, or at least has some type of thoughts about messing with a guy. And I think that every episode we're reminded of that, and she's struggling with that every episode.
Yes.
But on the other end, before I move on from this girl, Nia looks up. I don't know if you meant Nia looks up to this couple. Did y'all see that? Right?
What couple?
The vision board that she has as her ideal couple. That's them two.
What? I didn't even repeat that.
I didn't see it, but I didn't pause it, and I should have paused it to look at it. I didn't know that.
I was watching this with my boyfriend, and he was telling me stuff too. So I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, you're right." So I watched it over. But yes, like that couple that she has on her vision board is Marie. Marie and her boyfriend.
What?
I know.
That's a problem, because I can always admire my friends, but I never want to be what they got. That's because then downfall.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know though. She doesn't know. Like Marie doesn't know that she admires him like that. Yeah. They just know that she has a couple that
I know. That's why Hattie is always throwing those little jabs. Like she said about 2 times. Like, worry about you and your man, because y'all got some issues going on. So I don't think she was just referring to the no sex thing. Maybe Hattie is thinking something.
Well, when she said no sex, I mean, I guess she told her that. She did tell her that. But I don't know if she explained. I don't know if she gave her the detail about him only wanting to do anal sex. Basically, that's basically what he wants to do.
Okay.
I know.
So is that a sign?
I think so. I mean, it's not a definite sign, but it would make it, as a woman, I would think if I have 2 places you can put it, why would you?
That's the only place you want to go.
Okay, this is gonna be. I'm so happy you are joining the panel, because you're about to open my eyes to a lot. And I don't have a gaydar or nothing, and I don't assume. So
it's an assumption. I think the show is trying to push that narrative, which I mean I don't know where it could go with it. He could obviously deny it, but the signs are leading towards him being possibly gay, or at least, or she just insecure. One of the two.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's that on Marie.
I know it kind of reminds me,
but I still love her though. So
Wow, this is juicy. It kind of reminds me of Insecure. I don't remember who was the character, but she kind of went through this whole thing of
Molly.
Molly, except Molly wasn't in a relationship with him.
And she reminds me of a lot of Molly. She reminds me of a lot. Like I see, not to compare this 2 series, but they have similar characteristics in terms of how they are in their careers. And just they're that friend. Molly was that friend for Issa, and Marie is that friend towards Hattie and Nia. Like she's kind of she's very critical, but that's just her personality.
And I'm happy you brought it full circle by mentioning the career, because that's my next question about, just the whole dynamics between Marie and the other Black co-workers. Ben. So how do you guys feel about that? Like just going behind, your brother's backs.
I don't believe in that. And I am somebody who is God-fearing, and I believe that anything that's for me is going to be full of grace. So anything that I have to do, I will never have to backstab anyone, and I wouldn't want to be in that situation because it wouldn't feel authentic or full of grace. So me personally, I'm not here for it. I'm not going to backstab nobody, especially not somebody the color of my skin. But clearly they were saying that was the type of energy that they have. And I think he was like, look at your left, look at your right, you're going to backstab them. Like it was already, that's the type of environment. It seemed like a challenging type of environment anyway. So that's something that she should have prepared for. But if you're gonna do something, do it with your back and your whole chest. And when she came at him like, oh, okay, we're enemies now, he kind of, BITCH'd up, and I don't appreciate that. Whatever you do it full force. And she checked him, and I hope that he's prepared for everything that woman will come with, because she don't look like she's gonna take it easy on him.
Yeah, not at all. What about you?
I don't like. I look forward to seeing like their little competition. I don't know if it'll get. I'm sure at some point it'll go there because they both want that position. But they already were having little back and forth before that position was open. So I mean, it's just an example of like you said, they were already kind of putting encouraging like competitive behavior anyway. Let's see, all right. So I mean, it seems like they're competing, but they are also still, they show a little bit of humility. They're not just, buttholes. They still kind of come back, and even you kind of see that in episode 4 a little bit, So it's nothing really like alarming yet. I don't think she'll get them. I think he's going to get it though. I think he's going to get it, but we'll just have to see, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's also interesting because it kind of brings forth, I think this whole show kind of brings forth the notion of intersectionality, having those two oppressed type of things. And we see that Marie is Black and she's a woman, whereas, Ben, he's just a man, a Black man. And men kind of get a greater respect than women do. So I'm very interested to see like how this is going to play out. But I definitely do see what you're saying about her being kind of similar to Molly, because Molly from Insecure also had her workplace dilemmas where, she was going against the fellas and it didn't really play out in her favor. So do you guys have anything else to say about episode 3 in case I missed out on anything?
I'm just still gagging at, I don't eat fake crab. That just took me out. I was like, ooh. So I gotta stop eating fake crab now. No imitation crab.
I'm vegan, so that's all I eat. I be having fake shrimp. It be bomb.
No, I'm vegetarian, but
I ain't vegan or nothing like that. But I'm always down if it's available. I don't discriminate.
That's okay.
I'm here.
That's okay.
Right. All right. Well, if y'all don't have nothing else to say about episode 3, we're gonna hop into episode 4. Please feel free to add in whatever remarks or scenes that I may miss. But starting in episode 4, we were brought straight into Hattie and Marie's house, and she had like her little guest over. She had a whole new boo thing over. She just came back from Santa Barbara from the last episode, but now she had Miguel's wife. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but how do you guys feel about I don't know if you guys have lived with friends or have friends live with you, but bringing the whole companies over, how do you feel about that? And what does this show you about Hattie's character that we may already know?
You can start it off, friend.
I mean, it's obviously she, is a person that you got that one friend that comes over and gets very comfortable. Like just how she was talking to Marie's boyfriend the last episode. She just obviously has made herself at home and kind of gotten a little too comfortable. As far as the girl over, that just proves that, like I said, she does not love that girl. The distraction? That's the third girl that we have seen. Three and a half that we've seen already. And as far as her having company, I guess if they didn't really go into battle, what's the big issue? They just kind of looked at her like, oh, but I was surprised Marie didn't get upset and just go off. Consider her character. I assumed more from her about that, but it was kind of like light than what I expected.
You know what? I seen that she also had issues with her boyfriend, so I think that those issues kind of outweigh the problem with Hattie bringing this company over. And just to piggyback on what you were saying about Hattie not loving the distraction, I'm not too sure about that, because I think she's trying to distract herself from the distraction, because her mom even knows about the distraction. Mama don't know about none of these other little girls that she be bringing around, but she does know that this distraction is in her daughter's life, and she's playing both sides. She's fluid. She's like, what's up with that fluid girl? You know, don't let her get in your head or whatever the mom was telling her. So, you know, I don't know about that.
Yeah. Hattie is definitely overstaying her welcome, and she needs to relax because I mean she cannot go with Nia, and she for sure can't go with Miss Distraction. So I need her to play wisely, because she is a favorite of mine. But I'm not trying to see her homeless again. So hold it down, little mama, please.
Right. You know, I'm just seeing that she just has this like real carefree, I'm just doing me type of behavior. Like she just really does not care. And not only does it show to me in her personal life, like even from the eviction, you know, we even discussed last time that she's like, all right, I'm still trying to go to this movie screening. It was no feelings about it. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep having fun.
Were we like this at 25?
I'm 25 now, y'all. 24.
was we like this?
Nah.
Are you like this?
I don't know. That was so long ago. I don't know.
I mean, I distracted myself at certain times because, especially at the middle 20s, I'm like, I still got a bunch of years left. But
that's still the time to do it. I think that's still the time to, you know. I think it's still the time.
I want to keep it real with that. Don't do too much on her. I don't want to be too mean. But go ahead.
Yeah, because when I was that age, like I would still do things, and you know, I know. I mean, of course, I would have to take care of my bills and stuff like that. But you know, if a trip was coming up, and I was like, I'm going to take this trip, YOLO. You know, because that's when YOLO for me. That's when YOLO was going on. You know, that's when it was created.
Yep.
YOLO.
So I don't see an issue with it. I think she still is very focused in her career. So I think she has a balance. You know. It's just that, you know, at some point, and she's still young, but I think she has a balance. So I think it's okay. The fact that she's so passionate in a sense of her career, it works a little, sort of.
Yeah, okay. A little bit.
She hasn't made any decisions yet that is like, come on, girl. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so moving on to Nia and her audition, watching that part to me, watching her walk into. First off, I'm just seeing her discuss with her friends that, you know, I have this audition coming up and it's with a web series on YouTube, I think it is. And just seeing the response of Hattie and Marie. Marie was just kind of on this side of like, girl, you excited about this web series because they have this many followers or subscribers? Like, be real with yourself. So how do you guys feel about Marie's lack of encouragement during that moment, and how do you feel about her walking into this web series? Like, is this her starting point?
I'm just gonna say, you know, we already know the original rule. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And every win is a win, regardless if it's big or little. So I think that she definitely could have a little more compassion on that. You know, at the end of the day, if she's excited for it, we should be excited too. That's how I do my friends. It's like, if you like it, I love it. But of course she has potential for her friend and she wants her to do bigger and better things. But let her start off, you know, like that's what's up. If that's what she want to do and that's what she is, I don't see what's the problem. But I mean, it's always dope to have a friend that see you bigger than you see yourself. Those are the ones that always help us get to the finish line.
Yeah, definitely.
She's I think that was a moment that was like, you know, but I think that just goes with her character. I think she's just one of those, she's just like, for example, in every crew you have the strong friend. And I think that, you know, regardless of what they're going through, and sometimes what they go through may rub off, because they're the strong friend, right? So sometimes they're going through things like, obviously she's going through things. She's struggling with her boyfriend, and that is rubbing off on her, you know, people around her in a negative way. But I think that she's genuinely happy, just struggling within her own self. But I didn't like them. I wish it had been like, yes, you know, even if you're thinking it, you don't want to discourage anyone, especially in that type of setting, because it's already hard enough to, you know, whether it's a youth web series or, you know, if it's you auditioning for anything, you want to just kind of be positive about it, as positive as possible.
Right.
Yeah, and you don't know, she may need it that little window. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe that's the project that keeps her pushing to the next project, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that part, to me, I know that Marie has been that person, but in that scene, I think that was just coming from a totally different place. And maybe that's been the same for all of her other comments, but right there, just her energy just seems like she's going through her own issues right now, and she's just putting out that energy. So just even still speaking about Nia, we seen her go into this audition, or what does she call it? A casting call.
Yeah.
We seen her walk into this casting call. She's waiting for her turn, and she starts talking with two other people who would be auditioning as well. And they had that, girl, this is living the dream kind of spiel. So how do you feel about that conversation, Tez, if you want to start off? How do you feel about that conversation? And is that living the dream? Is this what it takes to get there? Especially with us being hosts, we know how that road can be, and the many different casting calls or auditions you may walk into.
I think that they were representing a side of what it's like, but to Nia's point or her character, it goes, she's not that type of girl. I don't think she's the type of girl to where it's like the dream. Like at this point, she wants to be happy. I think in listening to them, I think they kind of like just corrupted her mind, to get back into her mind and kind of mess up her new flow of, getting to her happiness. Because what they basically did was they basically said, okay, this is the dribbling the dream. Like it may be this and this. What's they said? A light skinned girl. They said something about the girl in front of them.
Mixed girl, I think. A mixed
girl.
The
mixed girl. Only the mixed girl get the role. I don't know. I think they were just like corrupting her mind. In that moment, and I don't know. I guess they didn't really show how she did in the audition in terms of like how she actually did, but it's real. You have people that will just do anything for these roles, and then you have people that have more of a conscience and know their worth. And it seemed like she stayed true to herself, despite having those two little corruptions, as I call them. So that's my thought on it. It was kind of light, but yeah.
Man, I mean, like, I think it's a good example to show for people who are inspired to be in that industry, to see that you're going to come across a lot of different characters. You're going to come across a lot of different hurdles, a lot of different energy that's going to get you off track. So you should be like me, and definitely, just stick to it, come what you came for, don't let it discourage you. And I think that was an awesome insight for others to really see, because this is what it is. This is how it is out there.
Yeah, I agree. So moving on back to Hattie. And during this whole episode, I think most of the episode was Hattie looking for some court documents for Ida B that she needed for one of the episodes in her show. What is it? Cocoa butter? Shea butter? What is it? Cocoa butter?
Right. Cocoa butter, I think. I think it may be shea butter. Hey.
Yes. So most of the episode was Hattie looking for these court documents. And I mean, we even seen Hattie flirt with the security guard, which I thought
was weird.
It was so weird, but it was funny because she was just like, but just seeing her go on this manhunt for these court documents and then get back to Ida B, and Ida B's like, girl, I don't even need those no more. How do you guys feel about that moment? And even just this whole thing of having to buy coffee and taking this writer PA role, because not only did she have to get the court documents, but she also had to get the smoothies. So how are we still feeling about Ida B in episode 4?
She softened up at the end of episode 4 when she gave her the suit, and you seemed like she's trying to. But as far as your first question about her not needing the court documents anymore, I mean, that was a little foul. But I mean, this is the role that she kind of signed up for. Like Hattie B at this point, Hattie B. Oh my God, Hattie. That's a restaurant with good chicken. But Hattie, she knows what she signed up for. Like she knows what she's doing, and she knows that the writing is like this is the writing, and this is everything she really has to do. Now it sucks that she didn't, she got all those documents. She talked to the guy at the place, then She got everything, flirt with the security guard, which was kind of weird. I don't understand that scene. Like, I don't know what he into, but that's weird. But yeah, it was weird. She's okay. She softened up, like I said. You can tell she wants to take her under her wing, but she doesn't want to give her too much. She wants to baby step. I think she's baby stepping into getting her where she wants. And I don't know. I feel like we'll talk about predictions. Let me be quiet.
Because I'm feeling what you're feeling, okay? I think.
Before y'all go to y'all predictions, I did want to piggyback off of what you were gonna say. One, I had a question for you guys with IDB. Is she flirting with Haiti or what is
that's what
that?
I was gonna say. You know, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know.
We're gonna have to talk about it.
But just to conclude it with that, I'm all here for paying your dues. I had to do the same thing to get where I am today. I mean, like, we all had to do some type of internship or something, and I think it's important. I don't think it's a lost cause. I don't think it's unnecessary. I think it's awesome. It's humbling. I believe that when you do get to where you're going to get on top, you'll be able to respect every single one of the roles and see why you went through that, and to make you appreciate it, it's going to be so much sweeter. And I think that you'll be able to respect your team better because you do understand that, dang, I've been writing for 24 hours. I'm really tired. It'll be awesome if somebody came and got me some coffee that would keep it moving. So it's not an unnecessary task or something that's just like being a bully. It's just, these are all necessary steps. I'm not talking for people who abuse that power, but I do believe that, it's going to be so much sweeter. So me personally, who've done 1,000 internships and done those coffee calls, done all those printing and washing dishes for people, I don't think it was unnecessary. I'm happy for that because when I get to where I need to go to, I'm gonna appreciate those people and treat them right,
Wow. I really appreciate that you said that because that is so true. Like, no job is too small and you really have to humble yourself. And who did she call Kendrick Lamar? Because she said, be humble. Somebody told her. She said, all right, Kendrick. And just to piggyback on what Tess was saying about just the awkward moment between the security guard and Hattie, I also like that they threw in our little area codes, the 323 or the 424, whatever they did. And he was like, oh, so you must be from the area. So it's just like, that was refreshing because it just brought home into the picture. 310 all day.
323.
901.
Hey, Valley.
Where we at?
That's Tennessee.
Okay. Hey, I got a 901 number earlier. I was like, who is this? I don't know if that was you, but
hold on, we may be related.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so in this same episode, before we start to uncover this relationship between Hattie and Ida B, because things they get very tense at the end when they go to this screening, because in that same instance where she brings these court documents back and she reveals to Ida B like how much work it took to get those documents, and Ida B said, hey, I don't need them. She invited her to a screening. So before we do get into that screening and what popped off there, because that was just like a very awkward ending, Marie addresses her boyfriend. Or was this actually that was in the beginning, but we didn't talk about that. When Marie addresses her boyfriend, giving out or collecting the card from oh boy at the work party. So just seeing that, and I know we kind of mentioned it in episode 3, are we really thinking that Marie's boyfriend is, maybe he is as fluid? I don't know what to give him yet because we just don't know.
We don't know. I don't know. They haven't really, it's just, they have our minds wondering. Like, I'm still confused myself. I don't know.
Okay. I'm not going to assume, so I'm going to wait till he says something or says something.
Oh, she catches him in the act, maybe. I don't know. Ooh, that'd be scary.
Because I think whatever it is, it has her really tense. Not only is she dealing with the problems of her mom's gambling addiction, which we haven't talked about too much, but she's also probably dealing with the same confusion we're dealing with right now. And it's on level 10 because this is somebody that she's with. So since we're not gonna throw out any assumptions and we're not gonna make an ass out of ourselves.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to say.
But we can do some predictions later. How are we feeling about Ida B? So I'm gonna bring it back full circle to what I was just talking about as far as they go to the screen. First off, when Ida B was giving Hattie this suit, they were kind of close. I don't know if y'all peeped that, but they were like really close to the point of where I just didn't know what was going to happen. And then as they're at this screening, Ida's hand is like real close to Hattie's hand. So it looked like if they were on a date to me. And towards the end of that scene, we see that Ida kind of took this jealous role. I'm not sure what the emotions was, but as Hattie was giving her opinion to the screening director, who I can't remember who it was, director of the screening, she was just giving her opinions, and Ida B just came with some harsh, critical comments instead. So how do you guys feel about that whole ending? What's going on here?
Is this our prediction, or
just what are you feeling about that ending? Because it kind of the episode left off there.
It ended right there.
Harsh criticism, and then
So I'm gonna wait after Tez.
I mean, it's been clear that Ida B kind of likes Hattie, in my opinion. I kind of you kind of see these things happen. Like at first it was like, oh, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be the person that breaks into the industry, go get my drinks and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, given the nature of the show, at some point I kind of saw this kind of happening, and I mean, I think that I keep saying Hattie B. Ida may, as far as the word, like we say, using the jealousy role, I think she may want the success of Hattie to only come from her. And I think maybe she saw that, what she was saying was valuable for, what was it, the screen? What was the person, the person Hattie was talking to at the end? I just think she wants to hold that success, that her
Absolutely.
success of her to
she
her.
The plug.
Right. She don't want any other opportunities to come from anyone else for her.
Yeah.
Had it be. And I think that's I don't know, that's kind of interesting to see, especially because she did put her on, but at the same time, you would think she would want her to be great in all forms in all ways, but looks like maybe she want to be the only person to provide that type of opportunity for her.
Wow, that's
it. Just piggybacking with that, it seems like Ida B doesn't seem like she has too much going for her besides her success in her career. Right. So she may be a little bored, and Hattie is her new fun. She's the new interested person. Clearly, she wants to look out for her and help her some way, somehow. Like what she told the other young lady, the assistant who didn't get the job that Hattie has, is just, she believes that she needed it more than her. So I think that she's a new project. I'm just not sure where her energy is going. Either she's trying to be that main person and really put her on, or she may be a little, curious with her, or she may be opening another door that we don't know about Hollywood. Lena may be putting out there that the Me Too movement is not always about guys, and maybe with girls too. I'm not sure what direction we're going, but we're going to learn something new today.
Oh, we sure are. Oh.
We sure are. Hattie got all the girls going crazy.
Yes,
all the girls.
The boss and everything. I'm like, is she about to smash the boss or what? Like, what's going on?
This is real life. Okay.
It's real life. So I think we can move into our predictions, because I think that's where we're kind of heading anyway. So what are you guys' predictions? What's going to unfold? What's happening?
I'll let Rochelle go.
I always wait for you.
No, my predictions, I definitely think they're going to have a hot moment. Ida B and Hattie. I think that Marie is going to she's going to break in a sense. She has a lot going on, like you said, between her mom and then the boyfriend. I think she's going to break, and I think we'll actually get to know. And then the at work, the battle between her and her co-worker. I think she's going to break, and we'll see why she is the way she is, because it's only so much that her friends are going to take, of her, like, I guess, pessimistic type of personality and approach on things. So we'll get to know who she is, and maybe, y'all like her a little more.
Okay.
Hattie gonna get into some trouble.
Ooh.
I know she's gonna get into some trouble. She's gonna mess up and do something really bad, I think. But we'll see. I'll let you go.
Ooh, I agree with that. I think that she has been playing for a minute, you know, just with everything, just the way she was taking selfies on the first day to the coffees. Like, we've been seeing her mess up a little bit, but she's been sliding by. So it got to be something big now, episode 5. Like, what happened? Like, you can't just be sliding by in this big opportunity right here. Something has to happen. Some epiphany has to happen so she can change or at least move with some type of authority. Because right now she's just winging by. She's just enjoying the ride, but she's not moving with any intentions. I don't think she's taking advantage of what the opportunity that she has in front of her. So I agree with you. I'm just going to jack that, and that's what I'm going to do. So yeah.
So look, y'all do nothing without intentions. So my predictions, I'm kind of going to piggyback off what Tez was saying as well, as far as Marie is going to break. And I say that because what's homegirl name? Nia did the little pentagon swing on her. And she said her sacral area, her chakra there was blocked. And that being blocked is just like a precursor for a lot of different things. So I think she is going to reach that breaking point. And we're really going to see who she is and get to know her character on a deeper level. I think that Hattie is going to express her concerns to Ida B about what happened at that little screening, because I think that was awkward for her too. And me knowing Hattie, she doesn't seem like a person who's not assertive. You know, even from the beginning of episode 3, she's like, look, I'm trying to be a writer. So what you got for me? So I think she's gonna come at Ida B on some like, you know, what's going on? What's up? Like, what you got against me? Or what's going on? Like, what you know, I don't know how that's gonna play out, but I do see a serious conversation happening between them, or at least her trying.
Yeah. But before we do go, I do want to thank everyone who is watching us. Thank you guys so much for blessing us to be the ESPN of TV talk here at AfterBuzz. And thank you guys so much for watching us. If you guys are watching, please go ahead and subscribe. You won't get any of those weird pesky notifications or anything like that. So don't even trip. We have all different types of shows and categories as well. If you are listening on iTunes, please give us a thumbs up and like and subscribe as well. Keep talking to us. This is a community, and we're so happy to be here doing what we love with you guys. So thank you guys again for listening and watching and subscribing and blessing us to be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes, thank you, especially during this quarantine time, y'all. You know, it feels so
Stay
good
safe.
to have this community. Yes, stay safe, you guys. So thank you for tuning in with us on episodes 3 and 4 with 20s. I'm Imani J. You can find me on all social media platforms at Imani Ajak. Hey.
I'm Cortez Kirkwood. You can find me on Instagram at Stupid Wow Tez, just like that.
Yes, and I'm your host, Rochelle. You guys can find me on Instagram at Roach Baby. That's ROACHBAYBEE. Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
And I get to see you next week. Yes, see you guys next week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.